Are we live? I guess so. Hello, everyone. Wow, this Palo Santo is still going. Gather round, gather round. Let me know who's here. I see there's one person. Hi, one person. Gather ye round. I'm just going to get us all settled in. And just saging us all, even though it's not sage, it's Palo Santo. I'm cleansing you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Go ahead, turn around, get your feet too. Get your armpits, all the crevices. Do the same. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I wanted to come live because it's been a while. It's been a while, and I missed you guys a lot. So much has been moving through me. So much continues to move, as I'm sure it is for all of us in this time. I thought it would be nice to read something from the Wee Moon calendar for today. And today is the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. And so I figured that I could read something that falls on today in the calendar. And this is this year, the Wee Moon calendar that I've been purchasing for several years now. And so the poem is by Adriana Atento, and she wrote this in 2010. And it's called Your Source and Your Shame. Being creative can lead to your darkness. When I say darkness, I don't just mean that dark source where all things emerge, where the moon becomes the muse, where artists and dreamers go to find generative threads of creation. I don't just mean the kind of darkness that is the void, the source, the center of all things. I mean the darkness you want to keep hiding, your heaviness, the parts of you kept in the shadows because it is hard to face and terrifying to feel. I mean your black night, the shadowy raven you keep hidden, caged, and tied down. And though you have rejected these parts of you, let me clarify that you want them too. In fact, you're always wanting them, forever feeling their absence, your loneliness, and your so-called imperfection. Creativity can lead to both types of darkness, one a prelude to the other. You see, in order to feel the fullness of your fire, in order to know the exuberance of your light, in order to radiate the bright sun that is you, your shadowy raven must be set free. This darkness must join forces with your creative expression. It must become a part of the great fountain of you. Keep this darkness at bay is like cupping your hand on the fountainhead. Hey, friend. Welcome. Thank you, Adriana, for your words. Yeah, yay, poetry. So today I just wanted to come in and just say hey. And it's been a while since I've gone live, but I have not been idle. That is for sure. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I've been posting quite a bit of art and musings over there because I enjoy it. And I have also I'm excited to announce that I've launched my temporary website, um, where you can schedule a free consultation with me, or a first conversation, as I like to say, by no cost to you. It's around a 20-minute conversation where we get to just talk and see and assess what's going on with you and where you're at in your life, and like your intention moving forward in your life. So even if it's just a 20-minute session where you get to divulge those things and be heard, perhaps for the first time in a really long time, I highly encourage that you take advantage of that, because I'm all for prayer. And so the intention for all of this, for my moving forward into this like facilitation, peer support work, space holding uh, adventure, is to really call forth more of that in the world, and to gather around and put out to the world like what I want to be doing and what I want to be um, encouraging and supporting. And the ritual of that and the prayer of that is strong for me. And there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of groundwork, a lot of like experience to be had. I feel like that was a lot of jumbly words, but I trust that it was received well, and I'm happy to clarify more as we go. Um, yeah, so I just wanted to catch you up. You've been busy too. Great. Yeah, it's spring. Busy is the season. I'm so grateful for this time of year. My moon is in Taurus, so I really vibe. I vibe hard with this time of year. And so yeah, just to catch you back up, what I've been doing beyond just posting art and musings on Instagram. I've been doing many things out into the world. I've been going to a lot of group therapy, a lot of trainings, and all centered around me being able to be a better listening ear and facilitator, and supporter for people in general, being a better advocate, being a better, more effective support person, as I call myself. And so I take this. I'm stoked to be able to say that this is what I'm surrounding my life with, and am like completely filling my time with, for the most part. I'm in peer university to be a peer support specialist, and really, for me, that's just another tool to use to be able to actually listen to people. And you don't really understand how much of a skill it is to actually listen to people, and to not just go straight into judgment or go into um, therapizing or giving advice. Like, do you know how much it takes to actually just sit with people and feel what they're feeling? And or not necessarily having to do even that, but just to be able to like sit with people and their stuff, and to and for me, more than that, is to also reflect back to them what I'm hearing, active listening, engaging. And so I'm doing this listening training with an organization so far, I'm really digging and vibing with, who Gabor Mate is affiliated with. I won't say their name, but I'm doing a listening training at the end of the month, or towards the end of the month. That's going to be an all weekend training that I'm really excited about. And I say all of this to say, because first of all, I'm really excited. It's really important to me. But it's also something that I haven't realized, like, these things are integral to me to be able to feel in integrity before I can really come on here and offer group-led, like, support groups led by myself. Like, I have whether it's perfectionism or what have you, um, I have felt like it's really important for me to feel like I'm actually offering something of value. And excuse my background noise. My neighbors, I am now seeing, are chasing a goat around. So if you hear background noise, that's my neighbors. Thanks, buddy. Libra baby, you're built for this. Yeah. And beyond that, I just got a part-time job, and it's 3 Libras and an Aquarius boss. So God help us all. It's yeah, so much is moving. I mean, I haven't had an on-paper job like that in years because, gosh, my anxiety and lack of boundaries and just oversensitivity just would not, have me do that. I would be isolated instead and just, like, keep my experiences limited because of that, because I'm just in my head, super anxious because I'm so sensitive and I don't know how to assert my boundaries. But thank the heavens I've been doing this codependency recovery stuff, been going to coda meetings that have been the highlight of my week, and because it's just my constant thread. And so I have this routine that I do, and I just started this art therapy group that I'm a part of on Mondays. And then right after that is when I go to my choir, and then I go to the coda meeting. And so it's just a really full day on Mondays that's all centered around healing, really. It's like my healing days. And so, oh my God, the horse is loose in my yard. I wish I could show you guys this. This is a trip. Don't step on my stuff, though. Don't step on my garden. He's just trotting around. Oh my gosh. They're really stressed now. The horse is loose in the yard. I wish I could show you guys this. What a trip. I might have to pause this and come back because my neighbors might come up. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to try to stay focused. Maybe we can put on some background noise to, like, stop this. This is so funny. Country problems. Sweet. Yeah. It's legit. It is legit. So, we're going to stay focused. ADHD will not take over, even though it's, like, right in front of my face because I'm looking out the window. Whew. Okay. What was I saying? The constant thread of healing in my weeks, and so the peer university that I've also been doing in the States, or at least in the state that I'm in, they're called peer support specialists. And the goats the goats are eating all my stuff. Okay, I might have to go for just a second, just to get them out of the yard because they cannot eat my St. John's wort. It's my prized possession. So you can't make this shit up. I mean, you can't, everything can't always be planned. That's for sure. Okay. I'm going to trust my neighbors to handle this. Okay. Seriously, I have to protect my, you know how prized my St. John's wort is? Like, I wish I could show you here, I'll just show you right now. The oil that I made last year. This is like gold. This is like liquid gold. It's so precious. Okay, they did it, y'all. They got him in. They got him in. Okay. Anyways, so I've been doing that, which is basically people with lived experience of whether it's substance abuse or mental health issues, lived experience to be able, they do these like trainings to be able to offer that as a means to support other individuals that are also needing help and support. They use the word support a lot instead of help because it's not a hierarchy with peer support. You know, it's, you've got your peer that is trained to help you get to where you want to go and navigate. So I'm just using all these different tools to be able to kind of expose myself to things that are a little bit more triggering, because you know we all have the judgments and the lens that we come to this world with, you know, like we have our own lens, we have our own filters, and so it's so easy to cast judgments and like have preconceived notions with people, based off of those things. And so I'm trying to really get to the heart of what I'm even here to do and how I want to connect with people in the world that I want to help create, right? Because it starts with us. We do the work and we push our edges and our boundaries and we become vulnerable and then we start to integrate out into the world, um, to get what we want, get what we need, and to be of service ultimately. And I hold the belief that us human beings are servants. We live in service. Like our full actualized self is to give. So yeah. So with that being said, just wanted to kind of chat a little bit more. Today is Mother's Day in the States. And I will say before I get too wrapped up is I do need to go around 12:50 p.m. It's 12:24 right now. So just want to let you know that because I do have my last session of a grief immersion that I've been doing. It's today. It's my last session for grief workers, which I identify as. I'm a grief tender. I am ally and advocate in all the ways. And so trying to get a full spectrum experience of like just exposing myself to all these different things, to being able to hold space, because to being able to hold an effective, like to be effective at holding space, you've got to be, your capacity to hold the full spectrum of a human experience, it has to be all encompassing, you know, and also within your boundaries. So you got to figure out your boundaries, and it's deep work to be able to implement that out. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of boundary work in this new job that I'm going to be doing, and all of the volunteer and internships and, you know, peer support stuff that I'm going to be integrating with and beyond. And with you guys, the advocacy work that I'm going to be doing with you guys. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, do that because that's where I post regularly. And that's where I share a lot of my art. original art that I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of collaging. I've been doing just so much creative stuff. And so, yeah, feels really exciting. Thank you. Yeah, happy Mother's Day. I yeah, Mother's Day. Could be a tough day for a lot of people who have convoluted relationships with their mothers and who are mothers themselves, like myself. I am both a daughter and a mother and a granddaughter and a great granddaughter. And it's it's an interesting day. I feel like putting into perspective just now in that moment of like, I am a great granddaughter of many. And it's not just about those mothers that you have contact with in or don't have contact with in this physical reality. It's like, how can we honor all of those that have come before? How can we keep the thread visible and tangible? We make space. And we feel. So, in this moment, I want to call to all my great grandmothers, Bernice and Sarah Ann, and Ivy, and Fanny, and all the mothers that birthed that are not here. And Helen, and many I don't know the names off the top of my head. But I know them in here and in my DNA. And how fitting that we honor mothers during the time of Taurus, the earth element. And I'm so blessed and grateful for my life. When I feel how much gratitude that I have for the life that I get to live, I feel so much sadness that I ever felt suicidal, that I ever had anything but pure gratitude. Be very, very specific with my words. I feel sadness for that. I feel sadness that all of us, or some of us, most of us, that struggle deeply within this culture that we have created for ourselves. We get so stressed because it's so unnatural that we forget in our moments of isolation or short-sightedness, we forget the big picture. We forget all that holds us in this life. We forget the birds and the trees. We forget the millennia the never-ending lineage of all of the life experiences that lived in bodies that brought us into being. Being a mother has never made me more human, more humble, and having to be more accountable than I have ever experienced and will ever experience in my life. It's been the greatest teacher and continues to be my greatest teacher. Because unbeknownst to me, the things that mean the most to me, like my most important value and moral, if you could say that, is integrity. And what integrity asks of me is to be accountable. Yeah, that thing. That thing. That thing that we can really have. I mean, I have an interesting relationship with accountability because it starts being accountable to yourself. You know, to be accountable, meaning your word to yourself. Integrity. What does that word even mean, right? Something with integrity, with strong integrity, means it's not going to falter. It means you mean what you say and you say what you mean. I don't know. When I think of the word integrity, I just think of deep respect. And you can't really have deep respect for something that isn't, is wishy-washy, is here one day and gone the next, you know? And that's what parenting kind of does. You know, I can see why people leave. I can see why people can be present, like physically there, but so not there in parenting because of the kind of responsibility that you have and how that whole saying of it takes a village to raise a child. Parenting is not a one person, let alone a two-person job. The nuclear family model was one of those scams. Doesn't work. This individualized American dream is just smoke and mirrors, man. Doesn't take long to figure that out. We've been doing this. I don't know. I can't do the history check right now. But from my understanding, this nuclear family model is pretty freaking new, and it's only taken us until now. I mean, me becoming a parent and being so tapped into like community awareness, like this doesn't work. But we've been deeply embedded in this individualized culture that has separated us completely from ourselves, completely from our nature. We are like the chihuahuas of the human race. You know what I mean? Like we're completely separate from what it is to actually be a human. We're not, the vast majority of us are not living in community. We're living in boxes. We're refrigerated food, cultivated food, processed food, like all of these things that are so not natural, not that they're bad, but they're not found in nature. and we're doing the best with what we have, and we're getting sick. We're all so sick. And it's almost like our existence is just to maintain some kind of balance because we're always going in and out of it, you know? It's always this rocky, ship of like, oh man, I can't do that because then I'll, not be great here. It's like constant maintenance. Like it's almost like a full-time job just to keep yourself like even keel. Like, because just keep yourself above the ocean, the waves. I'm just gonna read this out loud so people don't think I am so proud of you for everything you are doing, Summer. Mm, thank you. So am I. And I'm honored to have you along the ride. All of you who watch this. This is special. Like this time that we're in, like I can feel it within my own being, like the kind of transformation in the work that I'm doing. It's just like I'm just so proud of myself and like the fact that this level of awareness even exists and to know that this is happening all over the world with for so many people because as we heal, the world heals. Butterfly effect, ripples. We are so connected, far beyond what we can even conceive of. The human species is a species. We're connected, all of us. I submitted my application to a college nearby to do expressive art therapy. I did it. I submitted my first application, college application. With my community college, it wasn't like that. I just had to make sure that I was competent. I didn't have to do any essays or anything. I just sent in my demographics and a high school transcript from freaking forever ago. And I sent in my application to a really sweet college, like not like anything that of colleges. Like this is like a work college where you like do these community groups and you do these things and you keep the college running. It's like community student led. It's a student run college. And it's super hippy dippy and but still mainstream in the sense of it's not a private university. And I'm going on a free ride essentially because I'll be going on a grant and I'm going to be living on campus with my son part-time. He's not going to be mainly with me. And I'm going to be taking classes, art classes. I haven't taken an art class since I was like in 4th grade. You know what I mean? I haven't explored that. That wasn't encouraged. I'm going to pause and say I'm so glad that you found a place in the country where you're saving and starting a home there. That I can tell just by the way that you're texting to me and things that you're saying you're in a great place. I feel This is the first time in my entire life I genuinely feel happy. I'm literally learning how to deal with not feeling horrible. It's nice. Yeah. And it's interesting that you say that because you may find, if you're anything like me, in the way that I'm realizing that our brains work, we get addicted to chaos because of it being all that we know because of trauma. And so we unconsciously create scenarios in our lives that will give us that because it's kind of like confirmation bias in a way. And so if you ever find yourself feeling uncomfortable with the happiness, know that that's a part of the process, and eventually that won't be the case anymore. And whenever chaos comes, you'll be like, "Oh, I can't do that. Like I used to do that, right? Like I can't believe I used to do that." So I just wanted to offer that because it's come up for me and some people that I was in my peer university with, that they were realizing for the first time that everything's calm and they're getting used to that. And it doesn't take a long time to get used to, thankfully. You don't have to deal with that uncomfortability for long. It'll ebb and flow into something else and evolve. So, yeah, allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to feel and doing any kind of somatic practices to help you not get away from those feelings, but to get more into your body and to kind of like do sensory orientation. So, like 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can hear, 3 things that you can touch, 2 things that you can smell, 1 thing that you can taste. Or simply just sitting with your body. Say you're having a lot of uncomfortable feelings come up, sitting, taking a couple breaths, and noticing the sensations that are coming up from you rather than the stories that are being formed in your head. Rather than that, you're not putting them away. You're just like, you're I guess you are putting them, you're, you're, you're stepping them aside for a moment to just feel into your body, right? So for me, I'm just going to do it right now, just so you can see. So I'm noticing a lot of energy in my chest and in my throat area and a lot of stuff up here, like buzzy kind of feelings. I'm noticing my tailbone, the pressure on the floor. I'm noticing I have a little bit of a kink or twistiness in my posture. And from here, if you're in deep emotion about something or deep anxiety about something, this is probably when things will start to come up more and the emotion might even start to come out. Like for me, when I started to notice like my posture, I immediately wanted to like correct and like give myself some attention physically because 2 hours first thing this morning, I was on my phone doing some art stuff to get ready to post on my Instagram. And so, yeah, I'm just going to give myself some attention as I talk to you. And we start to round down. Mm. Yeah, you've solved a lot of basic needs. Now I'm trying to feel all my feelings, really concentrating on this. Yeah, and just for the love of all that is good, be gentle with yourself. Something I saw recently is like, you can't force healing. You've got to allow it, you know? And Sometimes it's the little things. It's like we have to remember, just because we grew, but our bodies grew into their full form of adulthood, we didn't, that doesn't mean we don't stop like play and joy and exploration. We have to remember that we're still these children inside that really would like to be given attention and nurtured. So that's something that I realized. I'm like, oh, but I'm being productive. I'm doing all these things. But it's like, what am I doing that's actually bringing me joy? And, that prompt alone can bring up a lot of emotion. It's like, okay, instead of beating yourself up about what you're not doing, right? I'm noticing that I would like to play more. I would like to feel more joy. How can I incorporate joy into my life? What do I even like to do? What brings me joy? And how do I, incorporate that into my life? If it's not daily, like how can I incorporate prioritizing myself and nurturing my inner child? Like, how can I do that so that can allow more spaciousness, right? Because when you're giving yourself nurturance, it creates space to be able to widen your capacity to be able to thoughtfully exist and interact with the world, instead of just constantly just adding on the stress until you just explode, you know? That doesn't seem like a sustainable system. Yeah. Stuff just pops in life and triggers emotions, and it will till the day you die. Something that I find a lot of joy in is my plants. It's spring. I also just got a bunch of plants from the farmer's market, and like getting my hands in the dirt brings me a lot of joy, and nurturing my plants. Oh my God. I didn't think about that until I do it, and I'm just like, yes. I I read somewhere a while back that soil is literally like an antidepressant. It gives you like all these feel good endorphins and hormones when you touch it, and you interact with it, especially that dark stuff. Soil is so yummy. Um, Singing is joyful to me. Singing with others is really joyful. Harmonizing with others, I've been doing that every week, and that's been medicine. I'm on some land in the country too, buddy. I hear you. It's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I love it. So, yeah, gratitude. Gratitude. This brings me to gratitude. In my experience, gratitude is the highest vibration beyond love. It's like love is just what is, and gratitude is like the elevation. Gratitude is like it. When I think of gratitude, immediately my chest opens up, and I look to the heavens. It's like from gratitude, so much emotion can come. Tears of joy, sorrow, reverence, love. And so if you're ever in feelings that are really uncomfortable to feel, know and remember that they are themselves an offering to the earth. Like your experience, all of your experience, every single bit of it is an offering to the divine, to the earth, to your ancestors, to whatever, to all that holds you, to all that is. All of it is divine. Which brings me to that song that I sung for you guys once. I'll sing it again. I'll sing you a couple songs. I'm open to the notion that emotion is devotion. And everything I feel in every moment is divine. Oh, 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 this present moment. Oh, 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 this present moment. Okay, I have another one that I learned in choir. That's a really good one. And it's a Cherokee proverb, which is very fitting because I'm on Cherokee land, historically speaking. And it goes, when you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. It's time for me to go. I've got to transition and hop on this call. Something I always forget is how much joy, it's like my body remembers, but this brings me so much joy. So I'm going to figure out a way to make this more prioritized, but also like attractive, because this is good stuff and it's fun to partake in. I went in this whole session with like only a couple hiccups in my words, so it's a good sign. So yeah, I thank you. I thank you for your time. Hope you can do one thing today that brings you pleasure and joy, and I hope that you can stay hydrated and find some things to be grateful for, and take care of yourself. Oh, I'm just now hopping off. Whoever just hopped on, I'm sorry, but you can watch this from the beginning. I highly encourage it. I feel really good about this, and I'm sure you do too. What would you like to call me now? You changed your name. What would you like me to call you now? Oh, Jaren. Yeah, but go from the beginning. It's good. Yes, thank you so much. Tell me what you like me to call you now, because I know you changed your name and I was calling you Jay. Do you still want me to call you Jay? What would you like me to call you? I'd like to prioritize that. Yeah, Jaren, watch from the beginning. It's a good one. And I hope you're doing well. Hope you can take good care of yourself today. I have to hop off now. I thought so, Joe. I just wanted to make sure. You know what I mean? We're all inventing ourselves every day. So we name ourselves, right? So it's been a pleasure being with you. I will talk to you soon. Check out my website. I'll leave it right here. It's brand new. It's my mobile website until I do a real one. This one's free and I really like it. It's really aesthetic and I spend a lot of time on it. Like everything that I do, I spend a lot of time. I I don't know if it's perfectionism. I mean, it doesn't I mean, I'm so meticulous. So check it out if you feel called to schedule a first initial conversation. Let me know. You can schedule it yourself. Everything's live. You can do it. It's all there. I'm gonna have to rearrange some of my availability because things have changed in my schedule, thankfully. So bless your lives. Thank you for being with me. I'll talk to you soon.